We are live. Hello, everybody. What's going on, everybody? I finally got StreamYard to work right away. Whoop, whoop. We're in there like swimwear. Okay. 1 second. Okay. What's up? See, you guys, cute little background music. You know, it's just so cute. All right, guys. So we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. Guess what, you guys? Jackson, hello. Depending on where you're at in the world, we do have a full moon and lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. It's going down, downtown Julie down. Okay, and a lunar eclipse. Okay, did I say that? So this is a collective wake-up call. What I'm going to be talking about today, you guys, is I'm going to go into pretty much, you know, what's a lunar eclipse? Why should you even care? You know, the South Node is also in Virgo too. So we're going to talk about that as well, because that changes everything. How to use this energy for yourself. We're going to talk some manifestation techniques, how to make it make sense in your daily life versus everyone's saying whatever, but they never give you a solution, right? Also, what to watch out for. And then we're going to dive into rising signs all the way from Aries to Pisces, okay? And within the rising signs, I'm going to tell you what loop that you could be in, okay? Or what loop you might face, how to break free from that, and then give you some manifestation tips as well, okay? So, without further ado, let's pull up the charts, okay? So I'm going to share my screen, you guys. And I got everything going. I got my notes so we stay on track tonight because I don't want this video cutting off. All right. Let's get into it. Here we go. All right, guys. So depending on where you're at, the full moon for me, it's going to hit. So if you look here, we have, I'm going to do this. You can change this by the hour. I think it's around, like literally, it probably just hit. I know it said it's going to be really late. I want to say it was 22. Here it goes, full moon. Okay, full moon right there. So my time is going to be like midnight. I'm going to be knocked out. Okay. And some of you guys are probably be knocked out as well if you're in the Eastern Hemisphere. So, and some of you guys have probably been feeling this energy already. Now, let's kind of dive in because this is not just another full moon. This one is a lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. Virgo's very meticulous. It's all about the details. It's also during Pisces season. And remember, these are like the opposite signs, right? So if you knew even a little bit about astrology, already can feel how messy but necessary this shift is, okay? But if you don't, no worries, I got you, because we're definitely going to break all this the way down, okay? All the way down, so that you know exactly what's happening and what it means for you and how actually, hey, my cats are like fighting right now, and how to actually use this energy to get your life in check. So let's kind of dive in. I'm going to pull up here. You can always go to a Luna Moon search as well if you guys choose to do that. So here we are, right here, March 13th, okay? 180 degrees, full moon. And we can pull up the chart as well. I don't know if it'll show you that. Let me see. I can share. Let me share. Let me share. I'm going to share this one really quick. I might share the entire window, that way you can see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. So here it is. I clicked on the full moon. Okay. Now, look at all of that. Oh, there's a lot going down. If you look down here, we can see all the aspects that could be playing out. I like this because if you don't understand astrology, you can definitely break everything down piece by piece, and then you can go to the moon aspects that are playing out. Now, at this time, the moon, it's a good thing that it's sextiling with Mars. It's also trining with Uranus and trining with Pluto and sextiling. Um, so we have a lot of goodies playing out. And I like to break it down so that you understand instead of using all these big words, okay? All the mumbo jumbo, if you don't know how to read charts, this is why I break it down in a way that makes sense to you. So now, what's a lunar eclipse? Okay, think of a lunar eclipse kind of like a full moon on steroids, you guys. It's kind of a moment of revelation, endings, karmic shakeups. You know, it definitely exposes hidden truths because it's full right now, right? It's kind of like, think of your table like a new moon. You got maybe some snacks and appetizers, right? Putting new shit out on the table. And then, or you think of it as a garden. I like you planted new seeds, watered them this whole time, and then now your garden is full. Maybe some plants have grown, maybe some flowers have grown, and now you're looking at what weeds do I need to pluck out of my garden? What plants did not, rise? What are the plants that are dead, right? So during a full moon, that's kind of what you're doing. It reveals all of these things, right? So now, whether you're ready for what's about to be exposed or not, think of this as a reality check from the universe that's going to force you to really see things for what they really are. And because it's in Virgo on top of that, you have to remember that Virgo, like I said, very detailed. It's about habits and routines and health and work and the way you handle your responsibilities. Now, because we're also in Pisces season, as you can see here, the sun is in Pisces, North Node is in Pisces, Saturn is in Pisces, Neptune's in Pisces. So we still have all of this playing out right here, okay? Now, the Pisces energy is all about the unseen, the subconscious, spirituality, escapism. But then you have Virgo, which is an earth energy. Virgo is the total complete opposite. Virgo is more detail-oriented, analytical, structured. Earth energy can be very practical. So this eclipse is definitely highlighting that push and pull energy between dreaming and living in la la land versus doing. Okay, intuition versus being logical, which I say it's better to go based off your intuition and live in la la land, because being very logical all the time can make it very hard to manifest. This is also making it to where it's escapism versus being disciplined. Okay, so what does all this mean, Tisha? Well, living too much in your head, Virgo energy is about to expose your excuses and demand some type of action. Okay, and you got to remember the 3D world's a dead world. All this is already played out. You can't change what's already played out. You can't change an effect with another effect. It doesn't work like that. So let me also tell you the tidbit. Like I said here, look, we do have the South Node, okay? Remember, so North Node right now is in Pisces. If you look at the chart, it's always directly across, which is right here, okay? 27 degrees in the sign of Virgo right next to the moon. South Node energy is where we are mostly comfortable, okay? But in the sign of Virgo, it changes everything. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting, okay? This South Node, it represents our past patterns. It represents the karmic baggage. It represents what we're being forced to release. And that's all in this Virgo energy. So this means, whatever is crumbling right now, it's meant to just go. Okay, just get the hell out of here. So if you've been stuck in toxic cycles, Virgo energy can give you that over perfectionism, self-criticism, or people-pleasing energy. This eclipse is going to be dragging all of those habits into the light so you can see how they're holding you back. Now, on the flip side of this, if you've been avoiding responsibility, lacking discipline, refusing to commit to some type of real change, Virgo's going to come through like a strict coach and really like just whip you into shape. You're going to feel it. Scrolling through, looking at my friends and looking at, people of interest that I watch, or whether it's content ideas, whether to learn how to do something, whether to buy something, no matter what it is, right? You can kind of see that as a collective, a lot of people just want to get their shit together. They kind of just want to like do their own thing, like create their own lane, right? So let's kind of talk about that, the collective energy. Okay, we're gonna try and go into that. What is the vibe right now for this? What is the vibe? Create a cute little banner. I like these little banners, they're cute. So let's keep it real. This eclipse energy is not playing nice, okay? Some of you guys might feel a little bit overwhelmed on looking at the world right now and everything that's going on in your environment, or whether it's your friends talking to you, or whatever's going on in your real life. It can be overwhelming seeing how you may need to change things, whether that's internally or whether that's whatever thoughts you're projecting out, whatever your reality may be. So you can be very critical of yourself and other people. You could be very anxious about work, anxious about getting your health together, anxious about your daily living activities, your daily responsibilities. So you got to remind yourself that your body is going to be reacting to all of this. And you have to be very careful in Virgo energy, because this could be, whatever you think about, you can be creating things going on in your body, like stomach issues, tensions, headaches. Virgo rules digestion, okay? So some of you may feel the urge to declutter, to clean, to fix something in your life. This could also be like a sudden reality check about something that you've been avoiding, okay? So on a larger scale, I would say expect major truths to be revealed to you, okay? Now, people in positions of authority might get exposed. And we see this playing out already on a global standpoint, right? Systems that used to be here in place are no longer working. They are collapsing. So this should be your reality check that astrology, billionaires use this, and manifestation, metaphysics, all of this shit is like, it matters, okay? It all starts in here, okay? So systems that aren't working, like I said, are collapsing. You see this playing out. Now, Virgo energy is all about efficiency. So anything that's inefficient, anything that's wasteful, anything that's dishonest is going to get called out. Like, you can probably feel like, I feel like someone just lied to me, or I feel like this doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? So let's kind of talk about that. Let's kind of talk about how to use this energy for yourself. So looking at all of this energy playing out, I'm looking at the moon aspects right here. So looking at all of these things. Now, you could, I would say, you can either resist this energy and let it drag you, or you can work with it and really start making some real moves. Okay? And start small. Start where you're at. This is why I'm bringing this in and combining it with astrology on my channel, and I no longer read tarot cards, because I know a lot of people are looking for answers and solutions and how to do something. So I'm incorporating the daily practices that I do into this channel so you guys can actually see results, because I've seen many results, whether it's in work, business, family, love relationships, friendships, whatever it may be, material items, okay? So here's how you work with this. I recommend you audit your daily life. Virgo's all about routines. It's all about health and work ethic. So ask yourself, what habits are holding you back? And it's so hard. It takes 21 days to gain a habit, 21 days to lose one, however you look at, however you flip the coin. Okay? It's very hard because your ego likes to stay in the same spot. We're so used to change. I mean, we're so used to being the same that we don't like change. And that's the ego talking. This is where the South Node energy is in Virgo at the same time of this lunar eclipse, full moon energy playing out. Okay? So you can look at this as what systems need to be put in place. It's time to clean it up. Whether that is you being addicted to eating sugar, addicted to working out, addicted to overworking, vices, whatever it may be. It all starts with you because everyone is you pushed out. So, number 2, I would recommend getting out of your head and into your body. Virgo rules the physical body, right? So this is where you can make sure you've got some time alone, to be with yourself, to do mirror work, to really sit there and listen to. I bet you if you sit down with no music, no distractions, no phone, you can hear all the voices that are in your head. This lets you know that you don't have a clear mind, and could be why you can't make certain decisions and be very decisive, or you can't figure out the next thing to do, or you maybe can't concentrate on something for too long. And people's attention spans now are like the size of an ant. It's like 0.2 seconds. So if you're sitting down really soaking this up and taking notes, thank you, because you're helping yourself. Okay? So this is where you take advantage of all this Virgo energy. This is where you focus on your physical. Whether that's, you can work out, self-care is going to be a must. That's why they say health is wealth. That's the back end of that. That's what that means. You can't be, fronting for the gram and doing whatever you want to do in the world and living this lavish lifestyle sick, right? So if you've been neglecting your health, this is your sign to start moving, start eating better, start taking care of yourself. Go on a fast, whether it's intermittent fasting or for a few days, a liquid diet. Your body is talking. So are you listening? Straight up with Virgo energy. I used to, because I have like a cystic body back in the day, they used to tell me I'm very cystic. So I used to keep a body journal of how was I feeling? Oh, I had a migraine here. Oh, I had a headache here. Oh, at this time of the day, my hip hurt, or I felt a weird whatever. And you keep logging all of these things. That way, you kind of know, what is it? What did my diet change? Was I high in exercise, low in exercise, lethargic? What was happening? And you can really, if you really care about your vessel, then you'll really take heed and start to see, is there a pattern? What could this be? And you can figure it out for yourself. You don't need to go to big pharma. You don't need to go to the doctor. You can heal yourself with natural remedies. So let's go into that, because I don't want you to overthink on that part. Because Virgo will have you overthinking. So this is where you need to stop overthinking and just really start being present and start living. Perfectionism kills progress. Write that down. Perfectionism kills progress. I'm going to need you to write that down. Virgo energy loves to plan. If you ever met a Virgo, they like to plan things out, what they're writing, where they're going, what they're doing, who they're doing it with. But don't get stuck on waiting for the perfect moment. You just have to start, okay? Even baby steps count. Now, you want to let go of what's not working. What are some things that you're doing in your life right now where it feels like you're forcing it? What are some things right now that are draining you? What are some things right now that feel stagnant? Those are the things that you have to let go in order to move forward. Because remember, North Node is in Pisces right now, opposite of South Node in Virgo. And North Node is where you're supposed to do everything new. Okay? So the South Node in Virgo is going to force you to release those outdated patterns and dead weight. All right? Especially with all this energy in Pisces right now. So balance is going to be the name of the game. and spirituality. Virgo likes to be very logical. You know, there's a lot of debates online. You can talk to anyone. I don't know who you're watching or what's going on. There's so many debates as far as if you are just such a logical person, you can have a very hard time manifesting your desired timeline. Your ego would be controlling you if you're always logical or satisfying your ego. So I did a video, you can watch that on my YouTube and TikTok, on how to master your ego. Now, on the other hand, you have Pisces energy. Pisces wants faith. So you have to have both, right? And to do this, you got to trust your intuition. But you also got to back it up with some action. Okay? Because we do have Mercury, planet of thoughts and thinking, in Aries with all the action. We also have Venus, that's in Aries, the planet of love, money, right? And then we have Chiron in Aries, which is like healing all those old wounds and rewriting the script on those old wounds that used to hurt you. You should rewrite the script to where they no longer hurt you because you're rewriting the ending of how it all transpired and you're believing it, putting your emotional conviction behind that. We talked about this in my video from yesterday. So that's your homework if you haven't done that. That's why healing is like a never-ending journey. So let's kind of go in. How do we really manifest? Well, you got to remember, we manifest every single day, every single millisecond. Everything right now is a manifestation. You manifested to watch me tonight or tomorrow, whenever you're seeing this video, because you needed to hear this message. Your higher self pushed you here. It's already played out, right? So how do we make it make sense in our daily life? Now, a lot of people think manifestation is just visualizing it and hoping. No. This eclipse is about manifesting in a way that actually sticks, okay? So, for example, you know, after reading over 200 books and actually practicing a lot of methods, techniques from all the books that I've read, okay? I should do like a book club. That'd be great. Comment down below if you want me to do a book club. For example, if you want to attract better relationships, you got to cut off the toxic ones first, right? If you want more money, you got to get real about your finances, your budget, your work ethic. Because remember, you still have to be doing things, but it's just the way you think about these things and your emotions that are attached to those thoughts. That's what's keeping those entities there, is your emotions. Your emotions hold way more weight than your thoughts. Because if you think about it, right, in your head, you had to just think about right now, like I had to think about lifting my finger. Right? How to think, move. Okay, I need to move. You know what I'm saying? So having that emotion behind something puts the drive and keeps things alive. So if you want to feel more at peace, you gotta clean your space. Maybe eat right. You know, set some real boundaries. If you guys are dead ass serious, like for real, you want spiritual growth, right? I'm telling you, meditation is the cure. Read the book Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Meditate, but also practice discipline in your daily actions. The key here is to make everything tangible, right? Manifestation is a mix of energy and action. And you have this Virgo energy that's screaming right now, show me, just don't tell me, right? So let's kind of talk about what to watch out for, okay? Now, I would say with this energy that's playing out, I would definitely watch out for analysis paralysis, okay? Because Virgo energy will do that to you. Because sometimes you can be like all day, let's say for example, you're a person like all day just really thinking of something so hard, so long, so much about creating your life. You can actually like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because then you'll start to believe you don't have something and the universe is only going to give you what you already have. So if you think you don't have something, they're going to give you more of what you don't have, right? But if you believe that you have, you say it a few times or once in the morning, once at night, you're good to go go on about your day. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to build a belief. Then you start to build that emotion or conviction that goes along with your visualization. And then boom, you'll just be walking in there. So I don't want you to overthink this, okay? Because when you overthink, it's kind of like overthinking everything to the point of doing nothing. Just you got to start where you're at. Because you could, with this Virgo energy, you can be very hard on yourself. Okay, you can be very hard on yourself, which is not good for anybody. So Virgo energy can be very critical. Don't let it turn into self-hate. Because remember, your thoughts, everything you say, what you think about yourself matters. And that's the reality that projects outward. Don't get lost in distractions. Your energy, okay, your attention, whatever you're putting your attention on is going to grow. And that's what's going to project out into your reality. I say this ever so lightly, but if you really think about it, that's what happens. You think about something so hard, so long, and you bring your emotions behind that, boom, that's in your reality. Think about, when you're racing to work, you're putting the energy of rushing. You're always rushing and you're racing because you think you don't have time for work. Guess what the universe is going to do? The universe is going to say, oh, you ain't got time? I'm going to give you more of not having any time. I'm going to create hell red lights. I'm going to make some cars do some dumb shit on the road to make you late for work because that's what you believe, that you don't have time to get to work. So that's why you have to be careful. Your attention is your currency. This is why they play all these distractions out in the world. I don't know, let's think about Popeye's chicken and Don Julio tequila. Like, what? Certain stories that play out in the news. You're like looking at it like, is this real? Is this for real? Like, so Pisces season might tempt you to really escape reality. In some instances, you want to stay grounded, but you do still want to live in your own bubble and just worry about what's on your table, worry about what's on your plate. That's what I mean by staying grounded. Because you can get burned out, overworking yourself, trying to fix everything overnight. So you got to pace yourself. Now, before we drop into this, like I said, the lunar eclipse in Virgo is not playing. So take this as like a reality check type of an energy, okay? And it's really time to start making real moves. This is that type of moment. Because South Node in Virgo is doubling down on that message. It's really forcing you to break free from old cycles, habits, comfort zones, that could be keeping you in a damn loop. You ever feel like life is just running on a treadmill sometimes? Like sometimes people stay busy versus productive. You have the same problems, same situations, just different people, same excuses, just different people. Yeah, that's a loop. So that's what I'm talking about. So this eclipse, use this energy to snap out of that autopilot and step into your power. How do you step into your power? Where there's neural pathways in your brain to where you can trick it. This is your breathing work, switching up your routine, not doing the same thing every day. You're not doing it the same way every day. Okay, this is how you break free of those patterns. It takes work to do that. Not just, instead of normally you wake up, you pick up your phone, check your emails, check social media, whatever it may be. And then you get up, brush your teeth, get ready, whatever. No, instead you gotta switch it up. Don't check your phone. Let yourself set the day. Because sometimes people, you can wake up disappointed and be like, oh dang, what happened to my bank account? What happened in the news? What? Oh, I'm pissed. Or what she say on her post? You know what I mean? Like, so you're letting the outside, the external, dictate the rest of your day. So you write the script for the rest of your day. You dictate how you're going to feel. Remember, you can't argue with your creation. Whatever you see during that day is old thoughts and patterns and beliefs that are playing out. So you can't even get mad. So with this eclipse energy, you can definitely snap out of the autopilot, both spiritually and in real life. So let's kind of break down. I want to go sign by sign. I want to go house by house with this energy. Yeah, I want to go house by house with this energy and get into some next level manifestation tactics so you can actually use this energy. And your rising sign is going to determine what house, of course, the Virgo full moon lunar eclipse is hitting. And that's the area of life you're about to get a wake up call. And then you add in the South Node in Virgo. Excuse me, it's going to be very clear. Whatever comfort zone you've been chilling in is going to get a huge spotlight to where, oh shit, I need to shake things up. I need to move a little bit different. So let's kind of pull it up here. We're going to start off with Aries rising. All right, let's go to Aries rising. So let me pull this over. What time is it here? Let's see. I want to do. Okay, this is where we want to be. So technically, it is Friday the 14th, but here midnight where I'm at, this is when the full moon's happening. Okay. Okay, so let's check it out. So Aries rising. This is going to be in your 6th house. This is a Virgo house. Health, work, daily routine. So, like, are you running your body like a machine with no oil? Because this eclipse will definitely expose your habits. It's going to expose your health. It's going to expose whatever daily structure that you have for yourself or lack of it. Are you keeping, are you keeping yourself on point? Or are you running yourself to the ground by like overworking and doing things? So remember, the South Node energies in Virgo. So overworking, neglecting self-care, thinking you can push through everything. Stop treating yourself like a damn robot if that's you. If that's you, this is how we're going to break the loop. Okay, I want you to create some type of ritualized daily routine that aligns with your future self. Okay, you want to manifest a new life? Start with your morning habits. Morning habits are everything. Let me tell you. For years, I would take at least a minimum of 1 hour to 2 hours just to meditate to start off before I do anything. Okay, I would recommend that you can teach your body to memorize certain routines and emotions. So if you wake up feeling the same, thinking the same, doing the same, you manifest the same thing. So when you switch up, change your morning, change your whole life. Period. Okay. Taurus rising. So let's see. Taurus, this is gonna be in your 5th house. Ooh, excuse me. This is your 5th house of creativity, romance, the way you express yourself. Okay, this is a Leo house. So this is going to expose, kind of where you're playing it a little bit safe, maybe in the way that you create. It even could be like your romantic life or your love life. It could be maybe some passion projects. So the South Node, I would say, that energy is going to really show you sticking to what works, even when it's boring as hell. It's going to really pop out for you. For example, if you're staying in relationships out of comfort, not excitement, and the way that you break this is you kind of want to just stop waiting for permission to be great. Step into that main character energy, whether that's like dating differently, creating boldly, or just being real about whatever lights you up. Okay. Now, I would do the law of assumption on this one. What you assume, you become. Okay, if you keep assuming that you're not the type, let's say for a relationship, then you won't be successful in love. But if you say you are the type and manifesting success in a love life or even a creative endeavor or project to turn it into a business, well, guess what? You will or you won't be. So I would rewire that type of belief if that's, something you're going through, whatever it may be. Gemini rising. So this is going to be in your fourth house. Ooh, this is a Cancer house. This is going to be about home and family, your emotional foundation. So Gemini rising, your home life, family dynamics, or emotional patterns are about to be exposed. Okay. And the trap here is where you could possibly be avoiding deep emotional work, using logic to dodge your feelings, staying in environments, whether they're physical or emotional, that don't nourish you. So what I would do to break this loop is I would definitely take some time to heal your inner foundation in your home, your emotional space, especially if you ain't stable. Nothing else will be. Clean your space. Like cut cords with people, places, and things. Now, your subconscious is going to be your home base. Think of it like that because it's in your fourth house. So you have to rewire your emotional baseline if you want to manifest a different reality. If home feels chaotic, remember this could be internal or external. If your home feels chaotic, that means your mind is. So you have to fix that. Okay? Let's do Cancer rising. Cancer rising. This is going to be in your third house. Third house. So remember, this is a Mercury house. This is the house of communication, mindset, learning, right? So Cancer rising. This eclipse is going to be calling out your mental patterns and the way that you speak your reality into existence. This is huge because South Node trap. Like I said, you could overthink. You can have negative self-talk and negative thoughts. You can be staying in surface level conversations instead of speaking your truth. So make sure, if you want to break this loop, make sure that your words are your spells. Okay? Use them wisely. Start affirming what you want instead of what you fear. Now, law of assumption would be good here in, if you think about it, because what you consistently speak and believe becomes your reality, right? So instead of saying I'm broke, say, oh, my bank account hasn't matched up with, this timeline yet. Or instead of saying I can't, say something different. Start saying it's already mine, right? So just kind of you got to practice these things until it's like riding a bike. That's the work I'm talking about. That's the action, okay? Leo rising. Leo rising, it's going to be in your second house. So we all know that this is a Taurus house. This is about money, love, your self-worth, stability. So Leo rising, your relationship with money, security, your self-worth is going to get a reality check. What I would do is trying your worth to tying your worth to external validation ain't it. Playing small because of money fears ain't it. How to break this loop? Well, what you want to do is definitely treat yourself that like you already deserve abundance. Move with that confidence. I remember reading, what book is it? Money is energy. Okay. So if you always feel like you're lacking, you create more lack. So start seeing money as a flowing frequency, not something that you chase to go get. Okay. Virgo rising. Of course, this is going to be in your first house. This is easy. This is your identity, your self-image, your personal growth. So this eclipse is about you, baby. This is going to be that perfectionism is going to come through. You might be trying to overfix other people and ignore your own goddamn growth. So what I would do to break that loop is stop waiting until you're ready to become the version of yourself you dream of, and assume the identity now. Walk like it, talk like it, dress like it, act like it. You always have to live in the end result. Like I said, if you're, instead of manifesting a dollar amount, manifest the end result of, if you had the money, what would you be doing with it? Same difference, right? Libra rising. Libra rising. This is going to be, ooh, you're in a Pisces house. So this is your subconscious, spirituality, hidden patterns, okay? Libra rising, this eclipse is bringing hidden fears, self-sabotage to the light, honey, okay? If you've been ignoring your shadow, and if you continue to do that, if you have been, or if you let fear of judgment keep you stuck, to break this loop, you have to face those patterns like head on, okay? Just head on, just face them. Shadow work, faith, equals freedom. Your subconscious runs the show, all right? So you have to meditate and reprogram daily. It'll be easier for you because it's in the 12th house. So no more running from your own mind, Libra rising. All right. Scorpio rising. This is going to be in your 11th house. Yeah, it's going to be in your 11th house. So this is a Aquarian house. This is all about friendships, community, future goals, right? So your social circle and long-term visions are all in review. Keeping the same old uninspiring friendships or connections, and you stay connected to those people because of the self-build comfortability habit and not alignment, is tearing you apart. If you're dreaming big but not even taking any steps to make it real, that could be your problem. To break free from this loop, I would align with people who match your highest timeline. Stop waiting for someone to discover you. Step into your vision now. You give people the script. So right now, with this lunar eclipse and everything that's happening, what does the end result look like for you to where you are in your desired timeline? Your network is going to be your net worth. So start moving like the person you want to become, and the right people will find you in your reality. And this is what will cause you to level up like that. Sag rising. Sag rising, this is happening in your 10th house. Ooh, this is all about career, reputation, and public life. So clearly your career and public image are going to be up for an upgrade, okay? Now, the loops that could be playing out could be, are you playing small at work? Are you settling in a job that doesn't even excite you because it feels safe, you know, and you're not stepping into your boss energy? I recommend to break free from this. You want to make sure that you're showing up as a leader like you were meant to be, okay? Stop waiting for external validation. Own the skills that you have. Step into your spotlight. And what you want to do is live in the end result. If you want success, start acting like a successful person today. Your body and brain must feel the success before it happens. Period. Capricorn rising. Capricorn rising. So this is happening in your 9th house. This is expansion, travel, higher learning. So your beliefs, your mindset, your perspective on life could be shaken up right now. And there could be a loop that's playing out where you could be staying stuck in the same environment, which keeps you in the same mindset, same old practical way of thinking, which is probably limiting your beliefs. Now, what I would do is take a damn risk. expand your mind, travel, learn, explore, get out of a usual routine, do something different. I know it may be really hard to break from routines, but you gotta just try something different and see what clicks for you. And this is where you start to expose yourself to new possibilities. Because if you want to shift reality, you have to see yourself in a bigger world. Remember, we live amongst many worlds. Every frequency equals a different world. Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising is happening in your 8th house. So this is all about transformation, power, shadow work, right? So your deepest fears about money and power dynamics are definitely being exposed. Now, if you're holding on to past fears and control issues, or if you are avoiding any deep emotional work, or if you're staying in toxic money connections, business partnerships, relationships, or just jacked up relationship patterns altogether, what I would do to break free from these loops is make sure you face your shadow head on. You want to stop avoiding the uncomfortable healing work. This is your transformation area in the 8th house. This is perfect. And this is where you have to let go to receive. The more that you release fear and control, you know how you Aquarius is doing. Okay. The abundance flows to you. Scarcity mindset is going to equal scarcity reality. It's literally, it's just like that. Okay, Pisces rising. Pisces rising. So this is affecting your 7th house. Okay. This is relationships, partnerships, love, business, connections, whatever it may be, side piece ship, situationship. So your relationships and partnerships are going to shift. Okay. So a loop that you could possibly be in is attracting the same kind of unbalanced, draining relationships, not setting any boundaries. You could be settling for connections that don't challenge you to grow during life, right? So how do you crack this code? How do you break free from this? You want to make sure that you're demanding better, deeper, more aligned connections. Stop chasing potential and start aligning with what's real. How do you do this? Well, visualize your ideal partnership, okay? You must feel the love before it arrives. You have to stop focusing on what's missing. Because if you see what's missing, you don't have something, the universe is going to give you more of that. So focus on already having a healthy connection, a healthy relationship, and be that for yourself, and then you will attract that. Okay? So, you guys, the final takeaway from all of this is just say to yourself, the loop is done. Okay? It's time to manifest like a master. Manifest your desired timeline. This lunar eclipse in Virgo is exposing your comfort zones. It could be exposing toxic cycles, limiting beliefs. But guess what? That's good, because that's the hardest thing, is to find the root. So now you have the power to rewrite your reality, because you're going to take accountability for what's been playing out, because it's all you. It's always been you. It's never anybody else. It's you. So I would say identify that loop where you've been repeating the same mistakes. You want to shift that embodiment, or walk, talk, act like the person who already has, what you want. And you want to reprogram your subconscious, period. Whether that's meditating, visualizing, detaching your old emotions from old things that were part of the old version of you, and attach new emotions to the new version of you, period. And feel your new reality before it arrives. And this is how you can make real world moves, okay? Virgo energy wants action. No more waiting. Start today. So comment down below, what cycle are you done repeating?